Only men over the age of 20 could become a Roman soldier. All Roman soldiers were called legionaries. They came from all over the Roman Empire, such as places from Africa, Spain, Germany, Britain and France. Non-Roman citizens had to fight as auxiliaries. Their military gear wasn't as good and their weapons weren't as good either. Roman soldiers had to serve a minimum of 25 years in the Roman army, and Roman legionaries were not allowed to get married. Roman soldiers used gladiuses, which were swords about 50 centimetres long and were used for quick stabbing. They also carried 2 spears, which were used to throw at the enemy, and when they were thrown they would break, so it could not be thrown back at them. They also used a dagger, which was a knife, and they also used a shield to protect themselves. There was about 6,000 men in the Roman legion. The leader of the Roman legion was called the legate.
Van Eyck was a Renaissance painter, active in Bruges and one of the most significant artists of the 15th century. He was also a master painter. This is believed to be a self-portrait. Nobody really knows because most of his life wasn't recorded until after his death.
Jan van Eyck was born in 1390 in Belgium. He had only one brother, Hubert van Eyck. Hubert probably taught his brother how to draw and paint because he was an artist himself. Brothers were both court painters and are believed to have worked together on some paintings.
In 1421, Jan van Eyck became a master painter and went to work for John of Baviera, who at the time was the Count of Holland. When John of Baviera died, Van Eyck became a painter for the Duke of Holland. He was a loved and respected painter during his time.
Jan van Eyck painted many portraits, including the Arnolfini marriage in the middle. This is one of his most famous paintings. It is the oldest oil painting on a wood panel that has been admired and become well known. It's very detailed. The painting is most famous for the mirror in the middle as it reflects back onto the 2 people, and the person in the middle is believed to be Jan van Eyck.
Jan van Eyck died in 1441. The Duke still continued to support Van Eyck's family after his death and gave his daughter enough money she needed to become a nun.
Today, Jan van Eyck is still remembered for his very famous paintings and has also been the very first person to use oil paints to their full potential.
The D-Day landings were the landing operations of the Allied invasion in Normandy, in Operation Overlord during World War II. The United States entered the war on December 7, 1941. Five beaches at Normandy on the coast of France were chosen as the landing areas to fool the Germans who thought the Allies would attack at Calais. On the 6th of June 1944, American, British and Canadian forces landed at the 5 beaches codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno and Sword. In early 1944, General Holcomb established an 8-week training schedule. Under his schedule, which remained in effect until the end of the war, 420 hours of instruction were called for. 195 hours were devoted to weapons, 39 to physical training, 89 to garrison subjects, and 98 to field subjects. Compared to training from earlier years, the length of boot camp in World War II was very short, but the product of training was the blood and bone that meant victory in the war. Upon arriving at the barracks, most new recruits were fed their first meal in the Marine Corps and brought to the sick bay where Navy Corps men and doctors waited. They drew blood and checked their eyes. The recruits had to undergo a medical check and their health records were settled. Then they were sent to the administrative section for paperwork, dog tags and ID cards. American soldiers consumed about 9 million pounds of food daily. Their ration was made up of easily produced, canned and shipped goods such as beans, packaged meat and vegetables, fruit drinks, chewing gum and cigarettes. However, food was often rotten and scarce and the soldiers marched on starving. A ration book was carried by everyone. They hid in foxholes from the Nazis when they were under attack. The soldiers also hid in these foxholes for days at a time, praying that they would live to see the next day. On Omaha Beach, the Americans were met with fierce German fire from their defences on the coast of the Atlantic Wall. The majority of soldiers that took part in the first wave got mowed down by enemy machine gun fire. The beach was littered with dead bodies and burnt out tanks. The situation got so bad that evacuating the beach was at one stage considered. However, the American soldiers managed to secure a bridgehead by nightfall. Over 40,000 American soldiers managed to land on the beach that day. 3,000 American soldiers lay dead on Omaha Beach that then became known as Bloody Omaha.